Welcome to Ivanoff Retirement Insights with Paul and Travis Ivanoff. The father and son team at Ivanoff Advisors and Ivanoff Wealth Management helps clients grow and protect their wealth. Paul and Travis understand the importance of having tax-advantaged, reliable income in retirement, protecting your assets, and helping you achieve your retirement dreams. Now, Ivanoff Retirement Insights.
Welcome to another episode of the Ivanoff Retirement Insights podcast. My name is Casey, and I am here with my buddies, Paul Ivanoff, insurance agent with Ivanoff Advisors, and his son, Travis Ivanoff, investment advisor representative with Ivanoff Wealth Management. And they are here to break down some of the biggest retirement headlines from the week for us. All right, how much would it take for you to live comfortably? That's a little bit of a loaded question, I know. When Schwab asked 2,000 people that question, the answer was a net worth of about $840,000. And they also found this: 8 in 10 Americans feel wealthy when it comes to the quality of their relationships, their happiness, and their free time. So, guys, I wanted to get your take on this. When you're talking with your clients about retirement, is it more about making money or making memories for them?
Well, Casey, in the end, income is the outcome that matters. You know, when you ask, people, they're making $700,000-800,000. It all depends where you're living. You know, we're not living in Iowa here. We're in California. It's going to run a little more.
Right.
And it all depends on that. So income is the outcome. And when we show our clients how, for the most part, once we put together our Ivanoff Advisor roadmap, when we put it all together, a lot of them, they can actually retire. They don't have any problems. They can retire confidently and comfortably. And that's what we try to accomplish when they meet with us.
Yeah, I would add on to that. I mean, I feel like that's a great question. And a lot of people get lost in those numbers. But at the end of the day, what is your goal? What are those dollars going to give you the power to do? And Paul talks about it all the time in our office, and I do as well at the seminars, is memories seem to be the most important thing for clients, right? If you are constantly worried about a dollar and not being able to actually live your retirement, why did you retire in the first place? You might as well just keep working, right? So I think it's less about a number and more about building out a retirement roadmap that allows you to have the income you need to make the memories you want to do, right? And memories is such a wide net. Whatever that memory could be. I mean, spending time with grandkids or, all those trips that you and your spouse or your friends talked about going, you never got to go on. That's really what you're trying to save for. That's what you're trying to plan for. It's not so much like you're not sitting around the coffee table with your friends and say, hey, I have more money than you. I have $1 million. You got $2 million. You got $3 million. It's more so, hey, I'm thinking about going on this cruise. Do you and your spouse, or do you want to join us? Or me and my wife took the kids to Legoland. That's what my dad did with all of my siblings and the grandkids as well. So I think when you really break it down, you really just need a good roadmap to show you what kind of income and retirement you can live based off what you generated. And I think I talked about in the last show, I've had several people come to our seminars, and I touch on this topic. I do talk about, hey, if you have a number stuck in your head, whether it be $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, whatever that number is it necessary? How much do you make a year right now? How much do you actually take home? If we could get close to that number without hitting the pie in the sky number in your head, would you actually retire? Because at the end of the day, Paul and I have tools that most people don't have. We have the ability to plan using our Ivanoff Retirement Roadmap. And I wouldn't get stuck on a number. I'd more so see what kind of income we need to generate. That way you have the money to make it last, but also to make the memories you want to do. And you're not stuck working your whole life. You might retire at age 70 and then all of a sudden you're unhealthy and you never get to use it. So you might be able to retire sooner than you think if you sit down with us and get busy making memories instead of saving money.
Yeah, I think a net worth number on its own means very little if it doesn't provide you the freedom to do what you want to do and what you'd love to do. And Paul and Travis and the team don't just want to help you hit that number. They want to help you build a plan that's going to allow you to spend your time and your energy on what truly matters to you. So if you're ready to build that plan that's going to align your money with your goals, take the next step. Give us a call at 714-452-1955. We're going to get you on the calendar for an Ivanoff Retirement Roadmap. This is an introductory conversation. There's no obligation attached to it, but spots are limited and they will fill up. So give us a call. That number again, 714 452-1955. And our lines are open right now. We're ready to get you on the calendar. Or, of course, if online is better for you, you can always find us at ivanoffinsights.com. All right. If you are someone who does not think financial fees make a difference in your retirement plan, then I need you to pay attention. I need you to listen to this. The Department of Labor says that just a 1% fee can lower your retirement savings by 28% over 35 years. So let's break this down with some real numbers and think of it this way. You've got $1 million in your 401k. You lose 25% of it to taxes. You lose over 25% of it to fees. You get to enjoy $500,000 of your million, half of the money that you save. So, guys, talk to us about this. Are people aware of this, and what can we do about it?
Well, actually, Casey, people are not aware of it. When we do our seminars, every time we do a seminar, we let people know the real cost of hidden fees. For example, if you were to take, I know this is going to sound shocking, but if you were to take the time and accumulate $500,000 over a 30-year period, you would have paid between $500,000 and almost $1 million in fees. You would have paid more money in fees than what's actually in your account.
Wow.
And I've myself, Travis, we've made a living just from the get-go, just letting people know about the hidden fees. Mm-hmm. And we do so because we're independent, so we can do it. If I worked elsewhere, they'd probably terminate me for telling people too much. But at any rate, so yeah, if you can eliminate the fees or reduce them quite a bit, not only are you going to have more for retirement, but my God, you might have found money for long-term care and other things that you didn't know that you could actually afford.
I think 1%, you'd be lucky to find that these days with a lot of the portfolios that we review. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of hidden fees that aren't really being talked about. And oftentimes I'll look at a client's statement that they bring in, and I'll start looking through it. And I just start looking up the mutual funds they own on the spot. And I just pull it right there on Morningstar, and I look at it, or Y charts we have as well, and we go, hey, this mutual fund, it looks like there was a front-end commission of 5% on this, and the expense ratio that you're paying is 1% as well, and that's on top of your advisory fee. So a lot of times when you start doing the digging, there's a lot more fees than just the 1%, mm-hmm. right? And none of us work for free. You have to make a living, but there's a difference between gouging and doing the right thing. And what we are always looking to do is to keep our fees as lean as possible when we're building out portfolios. And some clients are more fee sensitive than others. And if that's the case, then we have different strategies we're going to use to keep the fees even lower. It is important. And I think a lot of people just assume, I'm just paying the 1% or 1.5%. I've heard of people paying 1.75 just for their advisory fee that come in for a second opinion in our office, not realizing the expense ratios or the variable annuity fees or the commissions that are charged. So, you definitely need to take a deeper look at it. And that's what we do in our office all the time. We will do a portfolio x-ray to figure out what your fees are, what you're paying, and can you do it leaner? Can you put more money back in your pocket versus your advisors? Those are the conversations we have in our appointments all the time with our clients.
Yeah, Casey, more often than not, people don't have a clue what their fees are. And we talk about a lot at our seminars. For example, if you have an advisor, bank, brokerage firm, I encourage you, call them. Or if you're thinking of going to a bank, just say, hey, what is your fee? And it's surprising what the answer is. A lot of times the advisor will say, well, it's only 0.5% or 1% or 1.5%. And most people think that is the answer. That's not the answer. You need to know the all-in fee. That's generally the advisor fee only. Then you have the technology fee, you have the expense ratio fee, and all these other fees tacked on. And country average is 2 to 2.5%, according to Kiplinger's, is what people are paying in fees. And our fees are lower than that. So it's good to know. It's good to know what you're paying.
And I would just add, you want to make sure when you're looking at your returns, are those after fees or before fees? Mm-hmm. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at your returns, is what are the fees? If you're paying those fees on top of that, is it hurting your return there? So anyhow, this is something we look at in our portfolios all the time, and we're very transparent when it comes to the fee conversation. We want to make sure everyone understands what they're getting and what they're paying for.
Well, yeah, what you guys were saying got me thinking, because I feel like we probably have some listeners right now who are like, oh no, I don't even remember the last time I took a look at my plan or took a look at what kind of fees I'm paying. So how often should somebody be reviewing their plan and reviewing these fees? And what's the best way for them to even start that conversation with their advisor? Because it can be uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. A lot of advisors, if you say to them, what are your fees? More often than not, they're going to give a low number, but that's only the advisor fee. You've got to know the all-in fee. And we've actually had clients where we say, hey, ask your other advisor what the fees are. And generally what happens is they'll ask the advisor, and the advisor will say, I'll have to get back to you on that, or we'll discuss it on our next meeting. Mm-hmm. It only takes a few seconds. Everybody knows what their fees are. They want to evade the question.
So I would say, you can talk to your advisor about your fees, but if you feel like there's more to the story, that's what we're here for. Come and get a second opinion in our office. We'll do a portfolio x-ray. We'll rip apart the fees and see if we can't save you some money. I've had several clients come into our office that are in love with their advisor. It's a longtime family friend. They've known him forever, and they're getting the friend deal or whatever that might be. And then when I start looking at their portfolio, I'm going, hey, you're paying 1.6% a year, and you got $3-4 million. And then you got these variable annuities in here that are over 3.5%. Are you aware of what you're paying on this? She's like, no, I guess I just always kind of assumed that they were taking care of me. And I just show the Morning Stars. We run everything, which is a third-party software. We plug everything in, and it's right there. We'll show the fees, and then we'll do a side-by-side comparison. Hey, we can accomplish the same things you're doing, but we can lean out your fees so you take more of that, and maybe you retire sooner because you're saving in fees, or maybe you're leaving more money to beneficiaries. But it's a conversation we are accustomed to having, and we like helping clients really see what their total cost is. So if it sounds like it's time for you to review your fees, you should come in and see us and take us up on our no obligation second opinion appointment there. Our phone number is 714-452-1955. We have 5 spots available that we've opened up. Look, the person that gave you the first opinion cannot give you a second. So come sit down with us, have a cup of coffee. We're not high pressure. We love to sit there and chat and get to know you. So hope to see you soon.
That's a great point, Travis. I want you to take advantage of this opportunity. It is exclusive to our radio listeners and not something that the guys do every day. So jump on this while we still have some spots available. 714-452-1955 is how you do it. Ashley and Amber are at the office standing by to take your call. 714-452-1955 is that number for you again. Or you can always connect with us online at ivanoffinsights.com. This is Ivanoff Retirement Insights on the Patriot, and I am here with my buddies, Paul and Travis Ivanoff, talking all things retirement today. Now, guys, the Fed meets this coming week to decide whether it is time to cut interest rates. And there are high expectations of a 1/4 point reduction. But Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary is not expecting much beyond that. Let's hear what he had to say.
The economy's on fire. We're killing it, period. You're not going to see rate reductions with this strength in the economy right now. I am not investing on the hopes of any rate cuts this year. You got 95% chance of a 25 basis point reduction in September, but that's it.
So, guys, do you also tell your clients to ignore the hype over interest rates when it comes to investing for their retirement? Talk to us about your thoughts here.
I mean, to an extent, yeah. When we're talking about interest rates and what that can impact, what we're really often looking at is our fixed income portfolios, bonds, et cetera, where we want to pay attention to the duration of your bonds. How long until your bonds mature is really what I'm saying. So when interest rates are really high, like they have been, we might be in a shorter duration bond or a mid duration bond. If interest rates start dropping, we might need to change the duration. So they don't need to worry about that. That's what they have us for. For the most part, yes, we tell our clients, look, we are well allocated and diversified in our portfolios. Not all of our eggs are in one basket. The interest rates aren't going to make or break our strategy to help you get to retirement and through retirement. So, it's inevitable. Everyone's got the news on, hey, how's this going to impact our portfolio? But at the end of the day, with a well-rounded retirement plan, which is what we do on our Ivanoff Retirement Roadmap, we don't have to pay attention to every tweet, to every Fed interest hike, or if they're lowering the Fed rates. We don't need to pay attention to all the noise. We just need to stay in our lane, focus on what's important to each and every single client, make sure that we have a sound retirement roadmap. That's all they really need to worry about. Let us worry about the fixed duration or the fixed income portfolios. All of that we work on with our investment team. Our clients just need to worry about being retired, staying retired, and enjoying retirement.
Yeah, a lot of people, Casey, we hear clients say, "Oh, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket." Our take on that is watch the basket.
Well, there's always so much noise around what the Fed's about to do next. It feels like everyone's got an opinion, but when you're planning for retirement, you may be wondering, does all this hype really matter to you? And it sounds like when your clients are working with you, they don't have to listen to all the noise. So let me ask you guys this. When interest rates are shifting like this, how are you coaching your clients to think about their investment mix when it comes to balancing stocks, bonds, and cash? Talk to us about that a little bit more.
Well, I think we talked about it a few times on this show and previous shows and on our podcast, but first things first, let's make sure we have enough income flowing through the portfolio. If we have the income set up, whether it be dividends, bonds, fixed index annuities for income, that's our first building block to a successful retirement. So when we're looking at the noise and talking to our clients during, either the first time meeting them or on our quarterly or semi-annual reviews, first things first, do we have enough income to live the life we want to right now? And if the market crashes tomorrow, are we still going to be okay? And that's really where we start off at. And that's where we can talk to them about, look, you came in here and you wanted to hit whatever, $100,000 a year of income. And even if there is a market downturn that might be susceptible to these interest rate fluctuations, but at the end of the day, we're not simply just counting on market performance to drive our clients' retirement, nor do we want to do that. If we're sitting there glued to the TV or the radio or Instagram or YouTube, whatever it is you're watching, if you're glued to that every single day and worried about the market collapsing, which is going to ruin your retirement, it's probably time you get a second opinion, because you do not have to do that through retirement. There's other tools available, for example, fixed index annuities that can give you some peace of mind for, income and market protection. So yes, the topic comes up, but as long as we coach our clients through it and we've done a good job in the beginning at fact finding and then changing when your life changes, our clients are going to be in good shape.
Your retirement plan does not need to have a reaction to every headline. Paul, Travis, and the team, they want to help you create that balance plan that works for you. And it's about being proactive, not reactive. So if you are sitting here thinking you are ready to get these conversations started, I encourage you to give us a call. 714-452-1955 is how you can reach us. And we will find the next convenient time on the calendar for you to sit down with Paul and Travis for their complimentary Ivanoff Retirement Roadmap. That number for you again is 714-452-1955. We are ready for your call. You've just got to make that first move. One more time, that number, 714-452-1955. Or find us online at ivanoffinsights.com. And that is Ivanoff, Ivanoff. All right, guys, I know we talked about the NFL a little bit earlier in the show, but I've got to know now if you are college football fans.
I am not. But I even went to school in Michigan. I grew up in Ontario, Canada, and Western Michigan. I went to school there, and I didn't go to one game.
Paul.
I should have. I know. I'm guilty.
You're not a Jeopardy fan? You're not a college football fan? Come on, man.
No. Well, I'm on a pool league. I play pool.
Okay, noted. Same thing. All right, Travis, what about you? Do you have a college team?
Unfortunately, I don't pay a whole lot of attention. When I was younger, I thought I was going to be a professional wide receiver and play football, and I thought I would go to Florida State.
Hey, they did pretty good opening weekend.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a nice upset, right? It was an upset. Unfortunately, I never really grew. I forgot to grow.
Oh,
so
bummer.
that wasn't in the cards.
Yeah.
I'm about 5'10", and I don't think the scouts would be looking for someone that's not that quick and rather short. So no, I have 3 young kids, a 7-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to sports these days, unfortunately. I do assistant coach my daughter's softball team, so I can talk to you all about 7-year-olds playing softball, but not so much college football.
Hey, listen, I grew up playing softball, so we can save that for a future episode. But listen, you're watching Bluey, you're not watching college football, but you'll get back to it one day. I, on the other hand, I'm a huge college football fan, and I'm a huge Georgia Bulldogs fan. So as a huge Georgia fan, Former Alabama head coach Nick Saban was our kryptonite for so many seasons. But listen, I'm able to acknowledge and respect the talent that man has as a coach and the amazing, amazing success that he found during his career. Now, currently, Coach Saban, he is in his second season as a co-host on ESPN's College Game Day. And he was recently asked if he missed anything about coaching college football. And his answer was being a part of a team. Take a listen to Coach Saban.
The relationships that you have with players and coaches and people in the organization and how you can impact them. And, I've been a part of a team since I was 9 years old playing Little League baseball. And I just had a tremendous fear that I would really, really miss it. And that part I miss. But the working 14 hours a day, the recruiting, the changes that we're going through in college football, we don't have any regrets.
So I want to relate this to retirement, guys, because I see a lot of parallels here. In our conversation earlier in the show about that emotional side of retirement really got me thinking about this. When you're in the workplace, that is also like being a part of a team. So while some people may miss their teammates when they're leaving the workplace, what new team are you able to help introduce people to when you're working with them through the retirement planning process?
A lot of our clients that retire, they end up going, they just work on the side, they self-contract, that sort of thing, because they really miss it. It's tough when you retire, then you're working like crazy, especially a lot of our engineer clients, and then all of a sudden, they've got nothing to do. Let's face it, their friends are scattered around the country. And most people don't even have that many friends. So it's tough. It's tough. So a lot of people also donate their time, whether it be churches and other things. But they stay busy. And one of the things that I hear more often than anything is I go, what do you do with all your time? Most of the men that retire, the number one thing I hear about is I go to Home Depot a lot.
Just peruse the aisles at the Home Depot.
Yeah, but speaking of teams, that we also have a team that we work with at our office, and that's a team of different, tax professionals, estate attorneys, and we also are insurance specialists. So we rely on working with different teams, right? And I talk to clients about this. The way we kind of explain what we do, we're similar to, in our field, a primary care physician. Where Paul and I know enough to be dangerous about tax planning and estate planning, et cetera. But when I need to bring in another team member, when I need to bring in that expert, that's what I do. Just like your primary care physician is not going to do your heart surgery. They're going to bring in or refer you to an expert. Well, at our team, at Ivanoff Wealth Management and Ivanoff Advisors, we know when it's time to bring in another one of our teammates, whether it be our tax planner, or we have several estate planners we work with. Sadie does our Medicare planning. We have people that do, reverse mortgages, you name it. We have a team member or someone that we're affiliated with that we can steer you in the right direction to make sure you're getting all the help you can. So teamwork is important, and it's financial and retirement planning is very collaborative. So we have different team members that we work with constantly. In fact, I was at a birthday party on Saturday for my 7-year-old, and we're hanging out, and as dads do, and everyone else there, oh, what do you do for work? What do you do for work? And all of a sudden, I found myself sitting at a table. One guy's an estate planner, one guy's a tax planner.
Wow.
And then I'm a retirement planner. So we have a group thread. It's advisors from, where my daughter goes to school, all the dads. So now I possibly met some new team members that maybe specialize in something that my current team doesn't. So I'm constantly looking to fill any kind of void in our team to make sure that we can offer every single client the best service possible. So I look forward to getting those guys and see if they're going to be a good fit for our team and most importantly for our clients.
I love that. I think the truth is a lot of what we love about work is not the money. It's that sense of purpose and that sense of community that our work provides us. And we talk about this a lot on this show. It's that emotional side of retirement that a lot of people do not expect until they are in it and experiencing it for themselves. So yes, your money is important to have a plan for, but you need to have a plan for the other aspects too. And thankfully, Paul, Travis, and their entire team are going to help you account for every aspect of that retirement journey. This is something that they'll address in that Ivanoff Retirement Roadmap that we are offering our first 5 callers today. 714-452-1955 is that number for you. And I want you to get on Paul and Travis's calendar as soon as you can. Spots will fill up. So that number again, 714-452-1955. One last time for you. Write it down, 714-452-1955. Amber and Ashley are standing by at the office to take your call. I think they're scheduling a couple weeks out right now, but just give them a call. We'll find you the next convenient spot on the calendar. Or, of course, if online is better for you, you can find us online anytime at ivanoffinsights.com. That's going to do it for us on this episode of the Ivanoff Retirement Insights podcast. We'll be back next week with more great insight from Paul and Travis Ivanoff of Ivanoff Advisors and Ivanoff Wealth Management. We'll see you soon.
Investment advisory services offered through Ivanoff Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor firm. Registration is not an endorsement by security regulators. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities offered through Travis Ivanoff, California CRD number 325275. The firms are separate entities. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company and are not offered by Ivanoff Wealth Management Incorporated. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. Ivanoff Wealth Management is not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Ivanoff Wealth Management is licensed in your state, please call 714-553-1490. Ivanoff Advisors is not affiliated with Ivanoff Wealth Management Incorporated. Advisory services are offered by Travis Ivanoff through Ivanoff Wealth Management. Insurance services are offered by Paul Ivanoff through Ivanoff Advisors. The aforementioned are unaffiliated companies.
All content is for information purposes only. It is not intended to provide any tax or legal advice or provide the basis for any financial decisions, nor is it intended to be a projection of current or future performance or indication or future results.